that fear and trembling, that peering over the precipice, that sort of like existential vertigo, where you go like,
yeah.
You're like, holy fuck. Like that's, what more is there to say about that sensation and about stepping into it and about the first steps and the biggest steps?
You don't have to force yourself. It will call. It will call you. And if you're sitting here and you probably haven't made it this far, but if you're going, I don't know, I really encourage and love people being where they're at. So I think a mistake that I had made, which is everybody needs to move as quickly as possible through these phases. That's old optimizer idea. Your time will come. If what I am saying is true, this is not something you have to do. Like your ego is not going to be the one doing this. It's going to, in many ways, you have to participate and say yes at some point. You'll have your choice, as we talked about earlier, but the call will come. And you can ignore it about 10 million times. It will keep ringing for you. And the consequences will get more and more dire. You ignore it once, you go out, it's a little bit of a difficult relationship. Ignore it for 20 years, you're in a loveless relationship, and you've got kids and a divorce on your hands, like all of that sort of stuff. The consequences of not listening begin to erode the actions, the results, the emotions anyway. So the good news is you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, one way or another,
it'll get you.
Realization is going to arrive. What do you think is going on there? Do you come to think about it in material terms? Do you come to think about it as the universe having to ramp up the volume of the lesson until you go like, hey, Charlie, now, please?
If all of this is right, fundamentally, you are so much more than you are aware of. And we all recognize this implicitly, which is if I were to say, what's your blood pressure right now? What's happening in your liver? Obviously, there are pieces of you of which you are unaware and do not need to be in charge of. When you go to sleep, they just keep humming along, keeping you going. There are massive psychological pieces of us, spiritual pieces of us that exist that we're unaware of. You just don't have to be aware of. It's taken care of for you. But it's still you. So the idea is that this always has been the case. It always will be the case. You're just waking up to it and becoming more aware of it as you can swallow it. Because if you were to be dumped into it, as some people do with intense psychedelic experiences, you can crack. You can break yourself if you go a little bit, if you go too fast into these sorts of things. And so actually, rather than speeding through these, it's like enjoy the ride. I remember believing that optimization and getting everything you want, be like 25, 26, 27 was the end all be all. Some of the happiest and most joyous times of my life was doing that stuff.
Me too.
You just can't go back. You can't step in the same river twice, right? And so where I want to help people, and you asked who's there, it's when you're like, I remember it was so good. Like, why can't I make it go back to that? You can't go back. You know too much. You have learned too much. You have come too far.
It's too bloody late for that.
It's too bloody late. You've got to move forward. And so what I hope to do with the rest of my career, and I'm learning in this conversation and others, is to really help people at those paradigm shift points, those lonely chapter moments, to move gracefully into the next phase. Because it is a bear for all the reasons that you said. It's not fun to do. Nobody is really encouraging you to do it in your current sphere. I would just love to hold space for people to make those leaps. It's such a privilege to watch somebody, as if you've ever seen someone exit out of victim consciousness and start to go to the gym and start to dial it in because of something that you've said. It's like, oh my God, it feels so good. Yeah. It just is, it's true at every level.
But the next one, the problem is the movement from action to emotion is so unsexy in a way that the movement from results to action is not. Like that, every underdog movie ever in history has a montage of a guy sorting his life out by learning to be disciplined and upward aiming. Very few of them have a guy deeply learning to get in touch with the inner child inside of him and crying at Christmas movies. Right? Very few. And if it is, it's wrapped in this sort of redemption of a person who was too far on one side in terms of their masculinity. And this was a righteous correction that was like karmically needed in order to rebalance the people around them. For the most part, a man specifically getting in touch with his emotions is not in service of him. It's in service of the people around him.
Yeah.
And in some ways that's beautiful, but the way that Hollywood portrays it is not that.
Yeah.
It's not this sort of existential gift to the world. It's like, no, his wife needed him to be more attuned when he was on his phone and filling in Excel spreadsheets when they were at dinner. Like,
yeah.
Okay, it's a pretty low resolution way to look at it.
Yeah. I mean, you're very right. I think we live in an either childlike or adolescent culture in terms of most people's development. And even the term unsexy is like, that's really what adolescents care about. Adolescents are trying to be sexy. That's the thing. And into your 20s, 30s, it's fine. It's not to say that you can't have it, but it's not sexy. It's loving. And there's a difference. That like you're not trying to be sexy is, do other people find me attractive and want to move towards me? Loving is, do I feel love? And am I radiating it to myself and to other people? So you're right. It's not sexy. It's loving. And even I think those words are apt because the quality of romantic interactions that you choose in this period shifts from what's sexy, who's cool, who's physically attractive, who can help me with my status, to who do I love and what do I love? And that changes the quality of your romantic relationships dramatically.
What if, I know that you mentioned basically the volume of the lesson will get turned up until you start to hear it, would be a way to maybe say that. Or you die.
Or you die.
Let's say that there's someone who goes, I feel like the volume's like kind of loud already, and the fleeting thoughts and the little whispers are kind of, I feel ready to pay attention to them, but I'm still scared of making that transition. You mentioned that you want to be kind of a careful shepherd. Who was the boatman that helped get Dante across the river? Who's that dude? You know, Dante's Inferno.
It's not Charon from Greek mythology? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So he's blind, I think.
Yeah.
And I've got my fucking mythology glossary with me. You want to be this like boatsman, shepherd thing. You're like, hey, you're going from this bit of land to this bit of land here, and let me make it at least a little bit less scary that this is a journey that you can do with grace, right? Graciously, I think was one of the ways that you said. Someone is like on the precipice, they're on the cusp of, I feel like this is a evolutionary step that I'm prepared to take, and I'm kind of like ready without pushing and without going like, wait for the volume to be turned up. What are some of the things that you would say to that sort of a person?
Yeah. One, what I hope to convey for the first chunk of this is normal. You're not broken that this is happening to you. In fact, if you want to take some spiritual pride in it, like you're advanced, you're moving quickly. And even though it's hard, nothing's broken. The second thing that I would offer would be, you're going to enter into a stage, probably if you're coming from the optimizer stage, that is far more irrational and feminine and intuitive than you're familiar with. And those three words probably terrify you because they're associated with the victim stage, which is I'm tumbleweed and life just happens to me, and I have no command of anything.
It is evolution, but feels like devolution.
Correct. And I totally get the optimizer sees somebody who is doing work intuitively, and they're like, that's who I used to be 10 years ago, and my life was miserable. No way am I leaning into that. But there's a difference between listening to craving and listening to intuition. So we're trying to turn up, experiment with, and explore the feminine, irrational, intuitive callings that you feel. So there's a number of ways to get closer to this, and there's degrees of safety and risk involved with all of them. So some of them are, go with the one intuitively that seems interesting to you first, would be what I would say. So you've got standard meditation practices, you have breathwork practices, Wim Hof and otherwise, Stan Grof, you have therapy, you have men's groups, you have psychedelics, you have sound healings where they play the bowls and you just allow the vibration to wash over you. You've got long walks in nature. You've got strenuous physical activity that is not rigidly structured. Like I think that the gym where you're pushing yourself and you have to do it, but even you could still drop into like a zenless zone state in that sort of thing. But I would say like more sports, recreational, those sorts of things. Music, all of these sorts of things. Find the one that hits you. And I've done all of these: singing, dance, All of these kinds of things are this intuitive flow, feminine, reconnect you with joy, feelings, emotions. And then from that, what you'll start to realize is if you do a breath work or therapy, you're like, oh man, I need to have a conversation with my dad. and so then
came here to do breath work.
Yeah, I came here to do breath work. And sometimes I just need to call this person and tell them I love them. I need to apologize. I need to say that upset me and hurt me. You're going to start cleaning up the messes that you've left untended, things that you pretended were okay that are not okay, actually. And be gentle with yourself. It's not like I did the breath work. Okay, call them right now, immediately after. This is going to be a time span of like, I'll do breath work again tomorrow in a day or two. And, if I still feel that way, I can call them when I'm a little bit less raw and I have a little bit more of that containment. So I'm able to have this conversation in a way that is both emotionally vulnerable without emotionally exploding on this person.
Yes. Yeah.
And so as you start to do these different intuitive, feminine practices, you're going to get little hits of, I want to make a Dungeons and Dragons show. I want to make this phone call. I want to do this thing. I don't care how much it costs, like that sort of stuff. And you want to experiment in little ways. And this was crazy, but I was playing a video game 2 weeks ago. I know, crazy. But so I'm playing a video game, and after every little level, it's called Hades 2. It's got my Greek mythology. I love it. After every minute or so, you have to make a choice between upgrades that you get. And as I'm playing this game, I'm like doing it, and I am optimizing my upgrades because they have percentages associated with them. I'm doing the math in my head to see which one is going to output the most damage to do the thing. And for some reason, finally, thank God, it clicked to me. I was like, what am I doing? Like, I've turned this game into a test where I am every time picking the same upgrade. I'm not exploring. I'm not having. So I went, I want the purple one. And it's like, that one's objectively worse. I want the purple one. So I start doing random things in this game. And there were a number of things that happened. One, I remember that I was meant to have fun. That like I was playing a game that I had made a job somehow. And this is what I did with my business. But this is just another apocryphal story of, I do it even in video games. So I started having fun. I escaped my local minimum. So what happens when we're optimizers is we optimize around the world that we understand and know. Right? So if you're optimizing for muscles or for whatever, you've got an idea that this is what people like, that maybe women respond to it and it's best for my health. But if you explore it a little bit further, maybe you'd find other modes of exercise that better served your deeper want and deeper need.
Or longer levers that you're just not aware of.
Exactly. But if you can't explore because you're such a hyper optimizer, you can't figure that out. So I actually got better in this game after a dip. I was like, oh, wow, I found these new build paths. And then third was, I started looking at the artwork in the game, which is stunningly beautiful. And again, this is meant as a metaphor, is smell the roses. Look at the artwork in the game that you're playing, right? I had gone through life trying to get to the next end as fast as I could, and it had permeated even to my recreational video game playing. And so letting go of that, I was like, wow. And then I'm looking up myths of Aphrodite and Ares and all these things, and I realized, oh, I didn't want to play the video game to veg. I wanted to play the video game to get inspired about these myths so that I could sit down later with ChatGPT and just reflect on them. And I was like, oh, that's where my intuition was taking me. It was taking me to the game, to the artwork, to the deeper exploration of this myth, but you have to remain in contact with your intuition. One other thing on this that I think is worth mentioning is that a lot of people give their intuition a horrible reputation because at one point they knew they shouldn't have gotten into that relationship with the girl, but they said, no, I need to, like, I feel it. It's calling me. 3 years later, it explodes. She cheats on them. It all goes sideways. And they go, that was the part of me that didn't have a checklist because my intuition pulled me there, my instinct. What they don't realize is that, yes, it might have pulled you into the relationship, but then at month 1, it was dinging, saying, okay, something's off here. And at 6 months in, it was saying, time to get out. So the problem is we listen to intuition a tiny, tiny bit, and then we try to bail. But intuition doesn't work like analytics does. Our mind sees the end that we're headed towards. I want a physique. And then it backwards breaks things into steps so that we can achieve the desired outcome. Intuition starts at the next step. It keeps you foggy as to the actual place that you're headed. You don't know, and it's greater than you could possibly imagine, but it only tells you, play the video game. But if you want to use intuition fully, you've got to stick with it through these various steps and let it take you to its desired end, which is terrifying for people who want control.
Yes.
Because you're playing a video game, this is a waste of time, and I don't know why I'm doing this, but my intuition is telling me to. And now I'm looking at artwork in this dumb video game, right? But if you stick with it, I have found this is a deeper layer of self-trust is, oh, I can trust my analytical mind and I can trust my intuitive flowing feeling thing now, which is a really cool something to have come online. So if you're interested in the fastest way that I know of to make this stuff effortless, you might be interested in my course, Charisma University. You get full details at the link here, but basically, if you like the YouTube channel and charisma, confidence, building respect is a priority for you, I highly encourage you to click the link, check it out, learn more, and maybe join. Either way, I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.